Hey guys, welcome back to this series of tutorial on how to program a salary calculator. In the previous tutorial, we were handling the different cases from our switch statement. We saw how to handle the input from the user for the number of hours worked. And then we calculated the number of tasks. We also saw how to calculate the UIF and the net salary. In this tutorial, we're now going to see how to display the result on our console. So, because we already have the number of hours hard-coded as 40, so when the user comes, the program run for the first time, if the user just want to hit to display the result, then we should be able to have everything calculated and display on our result based on the 40 hours worked. And if the user hit X, then the program should exit peacefully. We should also be able to write the code that can handle the default. For instance, right now, if I enter all sort of nonsense and we see we're just getting the default, but we should be able to handle it and be able to tell the user to enter the correct selection. If you like this series of tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to CMTEQ channel for more tutorial like this. So let's get into it and see how we can implement the display result. So right now, if I hit E, I'm just getting this, but now we need to display on the screen. So what we're going to do, we're going to make use of our goto function. So we are basically going to display your payslip. So let's go ahead and change here, and then we can say your payslip. Okay, so that's going to be your payslip. And now we have to call the goto xy function so that the payslip can be displayed right in the middle of our screen. So we pass the parameters 10 and 8 because that's have been working for us to display text on the middle of the screen. Then we also want to underline the payslip. That's not there's a semicolon there. Then we're going to copy the goto xy again, and then we're going to move one line below. Then we're going to use another printf. Then this time around, we're just going to underline the payslip. Now let's check this out. Number E. Okay, so your payslip. Great. So as we can see, the delay is a little bit too short, so we can make it 4 seconds. Okay, so that is now your payslip. But now what are we going to display on the payslip? We're going to move two line below. So we're going to go to 11, and then we're going to display the gross salary. We're going to display your text, and we're going to display your UIF and then your net pay. So let's just copy this, and then we say gross salary, text, UIF in capital, UIF, and the last one will be net salary. Okay, but now if we run this program, we're going to see that those statements here, these print functions, are going to be on top of each other. So in order to resolve that, we need to use the goto function again to jump 2 lines below so that they don't print on top of each other. So this one gonna be 15, and the next one is going to be 17. Now let's give that a try. Okay, E. There we go. Gross salary, text, UIF, and net pay. So now we need to display what the gross salaries are and what's the net pay. But in order to do that, we have to include the functions that calculate all these variables. Because we know when you run the program, if the user select option E, now we need to get the result. But we cannot get the result if we don't do some calculation. So just as we did in other cases, we're now going to call the functions and allow them to execute within the display case. The first two that we're taking is the gross salary and the tax calculations. Then we know that we are calculating the UIF as well. There is a function for the UIF because your UIF depends on your tax calculations. Only after you've calculated your UIF, then you can calculate your tax. So when we hit the display, we're going to calculate the gross salary based on the hard-coded hours worked, and then we're going to calculate the tax based on your gross salary, and then your UIF based on your tax, and we're going to display them next to these logos here. But then we need to calculate your net pay as well. Where is the net pay? We calculated the net pay here. There is a function that calculates the net pay. So we're going to copy that as well, and we're going to paste it here. Now when we hit the display, we're going to process all this, but we're not displaying them yet. So now in order to display all these calculated values next to each of the elements to the screen, we're now going to just include and pass the values into our print statement. Now we know that the gross salary is a double, so we're just going to percentage 0.2 LF. Okay, that's the format specifier for gross salary. Then we're going to just say gross salary, like that. So we know that we're going to be passing gross salary there. Now let's just put a semicolon there. Then we're going to also do exactly the same thing for the taxes, and we know that the taxes are also the double. So basically all these elements are just using doubles. So we're going to say percentage 0.2 LF, and then we're gonna say tax, that one. We don't need this 0 there. Then we move to the UIF. We're going to also say exactly the same thing, percentage 0.2 LF, and then we say UIF. For the net salary, percentage 0.2 LF, and then we say net pay, just like that. So we're passing the values next to the element that they need to be associated to on our screen. Now let's run this program and see if we have any success in what we just did. Now display E. You can see, okay, we're getting the net salary correct. Let's try that again. So the net salary is fine, UIF, tax, but there's something wrong here on the gross salary. What did we do wrong? Okay, instead of using the percentage, we use the N. So let's just correct that, like that. Okay, so that is now correct. Let's try that again. Okay, that is correct. Now we would like to align them. By aligning them, what I meant is we want to be able to just display the numbers on the same line. So that's going to be just a small tweak here. Let's just move like that. Okay, perfect. So now they are aligning. So we got the gross salary, the tax, and so forth. The next thing to do now is to handle the exit. So we know that when the program runs, let's just run the program again one more time. If the user hit X, the program should be able to exit. So now we're going to just write a nice message to display on our screen. Once again, we're going to make use of the go to XY, and we're going to pass the parameter, not 40, 10, and 8. And we're going to write a statement here, and we're going to say application terminated successfully. Application terminated successfully. And then we're just going to hit an exclamation mark there. Okay, so that will indicate that the applications are terminated successfully. Let's try that. I'm going to hit an X. Application terminated successfully. And you can see the program have exited because now we are outside the loop. So we are not displaying the menu anymore. Remember, we're calling the menu here. But now when we hit X, the application terminated successfully. That means we're exiting the while loop because select is now equal to exit. So we exit the application. And now we just have to remove this get car here so that the application can exist, because as you can see, there was still a cursor that was blinking there. That was because of that get car. So let's remove that so that we can make sure that our application is indeed exiting. Application terminated successfully and the program returned 0. Now we then going to handle the default option. So in order to do that, we are going to once again select the go to XY function, and then we're going to stay right on that position 10.8, and we're going to say if the user enters some gibberish, rubbish, we're going to tell them politely, please select the option, please select a correct option from the menu. That's what we're going to ask the user if he enters some other nonsense, and we want to display that for 3 seconds. So let's run that and see. Let's enter gibberish. Okay, and he said please select a correct option from the menu, and we're coming back. So you can try that or however you want. We're going to come back till you select the correct option. So if you hit E, then you are displaying, and you're going to come back again into the function. If you select A, then you need to enter, let's say 100 hours. Okay, then you have worked for 100 hours. Then you want to now display the result based on 100 worked hours. Then you can see that's the amount of money you get paid and how much you pay in text. So this is how you program and hard code a salary calculator. I mean, this is basics of C programming. We haven't really touched the advanced stuff, but if you can program this from start to finish and understand perfectly everything we have used in this program, you will be somewhere in your journey to learning C programming, because we've learned how to use functions, how to create library, and how to call them, your function prototypes. Those are the basics of your C, actually your fundamental. We will be doing some other tutorial where we will be talking about function structures and pointers and all other fundamentals of C programming, memory allocation, memory management, and all of that sort. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Please guys, if you have enjoyed this tutorial and in its entirety, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to CMTEQ channel. If any one of you want the source code, I'm going to send the source code upon request. So if you want the source code, write a comment below requesting for the source code, and I'm going to give it to you. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers.